My name is Bim and I've been a long time user of membrane keyboards. And I've never really made the switch to mechanical keyboards until very recently. And the main reason behind that was because I felt like the cost greatly outweighed the benefits. Mechanical keyboards tend to cost a lot more than regular membrane keyboards. That is until companies started coming out with their own mechanical keyboards that didn't use the proprietary switches from Cherry. I went ahead and bought the Redragon Kala K557, a budget-friendly mechanical RGB keyboard for a very reasonable price of 2,500 pesos or about $50 from Lazada, and I absolutely love it. Out of the box comes the Kala K557, a disc with a driver, an instruction manual, 8 extra switches, 2 for each color, and a key removal tool. And for that price, that's actually quite a bit more than what you would expect. The 8 switches alone make for a great little extra so you could try out the other Otemu switches. At only 17.2 by 6.8 by 1.5 inches, I am loving how small and compact the Kala K557 is, and it even features a full numpad. It weighs in at around 2.8 pounds, which is great, so it doesn't get moved around so easily. The rubber feet at the bottom help out a little bit with that, but those rubber nibs at the bottom don't provide the greatest traction. The aluminum on the body gives the Kala K557 a more premium feel, and the keys themselves, although pretty standard, do cup the tip of your fingers quite nicely as you type. One thing I didn't like though is the built-in wrist rest. I really do wish it was removable, because keeping it on there has little to no point. It isn't even long enough to support my small and fragile Asian hands. The Kala K557 uses Otemu Blue switches. They feel and sound very similar to Cherry MX Blue switches, though some would argue that the Otemu Blues come nowhere close to the Cherry MX Blue quality. Me, I can barely tell the difference. The Otemu Blues require 60 grams of force to press, which is fine for heavy-fingered typists like myself. They're nice and clicky too. Here, have a listen. Very satisfying to type on. Perfect for when you love hearing yourself type, but horrible for office use. I actually used this keyboard at the office for one day before I had to bring it home because my workmates told me it sounded obnoxious. And I don't disagree. In a very quiet environment, these keys can get really distracting. The advertised multimedia keys are just secondary functions of the function keys, so they're not exactly multimedia keys per se. But I'm glad they're there, and I'm glad that they're not taking up any more extra space. Each key is advertised to have a longevity of 50 million keystrokes, and while that may be true for the most part, my experience varies quite a bit. My spacebar actually started becoming unresponsive only after a weekend of light use. I had to use the included switches just to fix it up. I did have a lot of fun playing around with the RGB lights on the Redragon Kala K557. There are 4 levels of brightness and a lot of different light configurations. You control the lights by pressing the function key and the insert, home, page up, delete, and or page down keys, and each of those keys represents a theme for the lights. For example, the insert key has the breathing effect, the steady light, and the one that goes from one color to the next very slowly. But all color configurations on that one key have one common theme. There's only one color on the entire keyboard at one time. The home key is the one that controls the reactive lights, which means when you press a button, light emanates from that one key, and it's pretty mesmerizing. Pressing the function key and the arrow keys either changes the color, left to right, or adjusts the brightness, up and down. Now those are all well and good, but one thing you can't do is assign a color per key and have game-specific colors assigned to a profile. So for example, a game like Mass Effect Andromeda, where you would use the WASD keys to move, the J to open up your journal, M for map, keys 1 to 4 for powers, so on and so forth. There's no way to just customize it where you would have the WASD keys probably in blue, G in red, whatever. And not that it matters though, because no one really glances at their keyboards when they're playing. I mean, that's what those nubs on the F and J key are for, so you can just feel around for the keys that you need without taking your eyes off the action. As far as software goes, there isn't much to talk about. It allows you to play around with the settings of the pre-made light configurations, like the speed at which the color breathes, the speed at which the light scrolls around, and the intensity of the light. You could also set macros and reassign specific keys. There's 3 profiles that you could set, and if you've got some weird macro configuration or alternate key binding set up for some game, you can do that, but it doesn't automatically switch with a game, so keep that in mind. Despite being a budget gaming keyboard, the Redragon Kala K557 does the job quite well. It's very basic, but for gaming and typing, it's really good, and for the price, it's a steal. You get all the benefits of having a full mechanical keyboard just without the bells and whistles, but also without the massive price increase most mechanical keyboards normally go for. So if you're looking for your first ever mechanical keyboard, the Redragon Kala K557 might just be up your alley. This has been Bim. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.